Today's video is on the Villiers Carb. That's on the British Seagull. They were made 10 to 1. They can be converted to 25 to 1. It's just on a dismantle and reassembly and cleaning on this. It's actually not too bad. I've already removed the outer dirt with a rag. Any bit of sand or salt right in the soil on it has been removed, so I can strip it down now onto a clean surface. Just remove the air intake there. As I said, this one isn't too bad. We'll have a look anyway. Needs a bit of a clean. Take out the banjo bolt here on the fuel line. Have a look at this. This fuel line was actually broken off, and the other half is on the motor somewhere. These won't be able to be used again anyway. They're worn off. Inside your banjo bolt then you have your gauze filter. Takes out any dirt or water that's inside in it. So it isn't actually too bad. Those washers can't be used again anyway. I have a couple of other fibre washers here that will be going straight back onto it. So I'll put that aside a second and we'll come back to that. We have the float bolt. This is actually off of an engine that I don't have any history on, so it could be converted, so I'm going to have to strip it down anyway. So we have a float bolt. Float. You just have to check it over. It's actually not too bad, but give it a bit of a clean anyway. Don't look too bad. Take out the slide. Everything seems to be working anyway. There doesn't seem to be clear passage through that jet. So what I like to do is just get a bit of automotive wire, maybe speaker wire might do, or maybe stripped wire from the house somewhere. The scrap stuff. Just strip out a couple of those, snap it off. So I have to, I think one might be thick enough. So we'll start with the body and just give it a bit of a clean first. Leave all that soak in through the jet, side of the jet. I like to close those up first and then put a bit in. Just give everything a good bit of a soak. Check that float there later as well. Give the slide a bit of a clean as well. We'll go through all that as well. So with our wire that we stripped out, we want to go down through this jet and just walk it in once or twice. It's starting to clear now. I can just see it there. Try and get in from this side as well. It's a bit more awkward now. That jet can be removed. I try not to if I don't need to. Just walk that in once or twice. Don't know, can you see through there now? But we've you can see that little hole down through the middle. That's the centre of your jet there. Now it's nice and clear. That's what you want. As I said, this carb isn't too bad. The jet itself can be removed. You put your Whitworth spanner onto here, whatever you can use, but this will be very soft. Just be careful taking that out. Don't remove unless I have to. Check other moving parts like the little switch for your float. So your float needle, your float will slide up when the fuel fills up. A second now. Fills up and it closes off that little switch inside here. Just on there. It'll close that up. just like that. So you just make sure everything is working there and that it is clean. You just check our tickler primer, just make sure that's going up and down and it's clean both ends. As I said, this carb isn't too bad at all. It's just to check it over more than anything else. The body seems to be fine. Ideally, if you had the air compressor on, you could blow this out. This one doesn't really need it. Just needs a bit of a clean. But if you did have the air compressor there running, you could run it through it. I'll be doing another video on the ultrasonic cleaner on something now that'll be a bit more need of it now than this one. So that's the body done. Just give everything a bit of a clean down now first. You have the float ball. The thing with the float ball is just to check the inside. I'll turn on the light there. Check the inside down the bottom. There's kind of little spaces there where the dirt can hold. This isn't too bad. It needs a little bit of a clean. Alright, so just get a screwdriver and a cloth and just get down into all those bits. Make sure you get everything out of this, because the slightest bit of dirt will block that needle, or will block that jet, should I say. That's good. Now just to check the float for any cracks or leaks, because your float won't be floating. That's good. Just make sure you look down the core as well. Yep, that's fine. That's ready to go back. We just check the air cowl now as well. Your intake. And just make sure that it doesn't suck in it, and that shouldn't be going in there. Actually fairly good. Once your carb cleaner has been through it, it usually releases anything that has to come off. That's grand. So we'll have a look at this little banjo bolt now as well. Those washers won't be able to be used again anyway. They're completely perished. These two will have to be used now. We just blow out the little gauze filter there. It's actually a good filter, doesn't look bad at all. As you can see, your daylight through it all the ways around. Perfect. Give this one a clean as well. This one is actually perfect inside in it. Just be careful tightening up all these things, don't over tighten them, because you have steel going into aluminium, so it can destroy the threads as you're going in. That's fine. So what you'll have is, going back on, I'll be putting on a new fuel line, is you'll have a washer, the gauze filter. It'll go through your new fuel line, and then a washer on the other end. Seals it all up. That will go back in there and it will thread through like that. Now I'm going to put on a new fuel line, so I'll be doing this when it's on the motor. We just make sure that that's completely cleared out there. This was actually fairly good. Just make sure the body is perfect, ready to go. That's that side of it. This is how we find out if it's been converted or not. So you have your slide and you have your needle. You just want to pull that apart now, get as much slack as you can, and push until you see this one here coming out, the end of your cable. Slide that outside the groove then, like that, and just slide it along and it'll come out. Just make sure you don't lose that spring. Doesn't look too bad there now at all. Just give it a bit of a wipe up there. So take off and make sure your rags are nice and clean. British Seagull indoor manuals do say to have this screw at the top flush. Now maybe someone has turned this down to adjust the fuel mixture, so I usually put it back down to whoever had it at their height, whatever they had it at. I put it back down to that. because they've done that for a reason. Now you can always bring it back up afterwards. It's an easy adjustment. So we just count out the half turns. 1, 2, and that's flush there now. So it's 2 half turns. Now I'm going to take this completely out because we need to check this needle to see if it's been converted. The number written on the needle is actually inside here where it's sitting. So I need to get this out. Remove that. So you have a slat side and the groove side. The groove side goes in that way. Take it back out, and there's a small spring then on the inside. You take down the spring, and you can actually see the camera isn't going to pick it up there now, but it does actually. There's actually a number just there written on the side of the needle, and it actually says, it won't pick it up there now, but it says 3 on that. So that means it's still at 10-1. I have it written out there in my own book and my Seagull spares to what the needles are. That's the Villiers Carb page. If you wanted a screenshot there now, that's how to disassemble and reassemble. But there's your needle numbers. So my one is in number 3, so it's still a 10-1. No one has converted it. If it was a number 2 needle or a number 2.5 needle, it'd be 25-1. And opposite page then is just your part numbers. For example, like your flow chamber is V14146. You could just buy those parts in from Seagull themselves. Sometimes you can get people to sell them second hand on eBay and things like that. So that's our needle. Just make sure everything is clear, everything is clean, everything is fine there. So I'm going to drop that back in. So you have the narrow hole, the big hole that goes in at the big side, back in like that. Just make sure your spring is on it. That then with your screw setting will adjust it in or out. How much you want to lean down the fuel or lean the fuel on the air mixture. Remember, the open side of the little screw goes in. So we turn that in and get it down then to 2.5 turns below flat. That's flat there now, so we're going to go 1.5 turn, 2.5 turns. So it's just below. Now that can be adjusted afterwards, and it is very easy to adjust it. So we're going to put our cable back on here again. Just put in that there onto the opening. That's the put it on the needle side. And pull back your spring then as far as it'll go until it slots down into here. Pull back the spring, and it'll shoot back down inside here again. So that's ready to go back on. It is fairly clean. Just make sure the outside is clean, and your retaining piece goes down over like that as well. That's nice and clean. Make sure your threads are clean and there's nothing obstructing them. That's more or less it. So it is a 10-1. So you know your mix from there. Just make sure your body is nice and clean here. Everything is working. Everything should open left and right. Yeah, that's all fine. So we have a float ball and a floating side, and that's just a simple screw back on again. And you can see it's threaded down this half. When you prime or tickle your carb, then you have your little hole here. Actually 2 on this one, there's 1 here and 1 here, so you can see just a little trickle of fuel. That means she's primed, ready to fire, ready to pull. just to make sure that like the slide will actually go down anyway at all, but it must sit into the top part, must sit in. This has a little notch here and a groove here, so this must sit in like that. If it is sitting like that, it may not run right, it may not, the cable mightn't run right either. So just make sure it sits in there. Bring down your retainer, hold into position, and just screw on then. Sometimes they do find the wrong thread. Some of these do. The threads could be a little bit worn too. That's fine, that's spot on. That's that ready to go. And your intake. These don't like to want the right threads either. That's the one. Just tighten it down. There's two grooves here as well on your mounting that goes back onto your block. So it runs in there and runs there. Make sure they're clean. These are actually clean. And make sure when you're tightening back onto your block to tighten down your little clamp there as well, nice and tight, nice and snug. You don't want any extra air going in there. And as I said, with your fuel line, we'll be going back on here like that, in that order. If you are cleaning the carb, make sure you do clean your fuel lines and your tank. There's no point cleaning your carbs if your tank and your fuel lines are manky. You have to clean them out. Don't do one, do them all. There's probably a reason why it's getting blocked in the first place. But that's the Villiers carb anyway. That actually fits the Century models, and it does the 40 plus and 40 minus and all those. So like and subscribe. I'm doing a few other videos there that are coming up as well. The fuel tap repair for Seagull, head removal, flywheel removal. I'll be doing the Amel carb, the Bing carb. As I said, I will be doing the ultrasonic cleaner on something a little bit more mankier than that, a little bit dirtier. And I've actually made a homemade piston press to release the piston on some of these Seagulls. Okay, thanks for watching.